Helen Zille is likely to be re-elected as the DA's Federal Council chair. The only other contender is Lungile, who pulled out just ahead of the Federal Congress. Zille says she's blessed to go into the race uncontested. Senior reporter Siphamandla Goge caught up with her earlier.
We have the federal chairperson of the Democratic Alliance, Helen Zille. Helen, thank you very much for your time. It's the big weekend for the DA. This is the biggest Congress of the DA in history, more than 2,000 delegates. What does it mean to you and the DA?
Well, it's very humbling. It's been a long road to get here. The DA is growing, it is diverse, it is united, and it has a vision. And it really is an extraordinary feeling to be here in this enormous hall with all the provinces sitting together, cheering each other, cheering the future of South Africa and looking to play a key part in saving the country.
I think apart from election or electing leaders of the DA, the issue of policy discussions will be very key. The country is going through a lot, socio-economic challenges, and I'm sure those are some of the things we'll be discussing. What is it, the key focus in terms of policy discussions and direction you would want to see happening?
The key focus is always on the economy, because our biggest problem in South Africa is unemployment and poverty. And so our key focus is always how do we grow this economy to create more jobs. And to do that, we have to make sure that we get energy right, electricity right, labour policy right, other trade and industry policies right. So we look to set policy agendas that will grow the economy and create jobs so that we can move our people out of poverty.
One of the challenges that the DA has had to face recently is what many people, including analysts and your critics, would call the exodus of African leaders, some of them that you have personally groomed and worked with. Are you worried about the perception that in terms of transformation, the DA is regressing based on the criticism?
It is absolutely not regressing, but I know the DA always faces a double standard in the media. Take your camera and move around this hall. Look at the stage right now and see those three magnificent people leading the Congress right now. See the people who are standing for election. See the delegates. You'll see what the DA looks like. It is the only diverse party in the whole of South Africa. In just 1 week, Action SA has lost more leaders in Ekurhuleni, in Tshwane, in Johannesburg, and in Midrand or Midvaal than the DA has lost in the last 6 years. But the media doesn't say that's a black exodus. It's because they have a double standard about the DA.
Another concern, on the eve of such a Congress, the departure of your head of policy, Gwen, ordinarily will make some people to be concerned. Are you worried about her departure?
Gwen's work for the DA was incredibly valuable. I have a high regard for Gwen. I worked very closely with her, and a lot of her policy products are there for all of us to see. So we will continue her work. We will continue her work. She had a job offer, an international job offer, to be head of policy for an international company for 72 countries across the world. That is an extraordinary offer with an international company, and no one can match that offer in terms of job prospects and salary.
The leadership that will be elected here will have to be seized with two main things. This very difficult and complicated, unstable issue of coalitions and 2024 general election. 2019 was not kind to you. There were internal dynamics within the DA. Are you hopeful that 2024 will be kind?
The important thing is to listen to the speech of whichever leader is elected. And it is going to be very important that that person, whoever it is who's elected, sets out the vision for 2024. It's not my job. I'm not the leader of the DA.
Who would you prefer to be elected here?
I can't say. I chair the Federal Council, I chair the Federal Executive, and I have to work with everybody equally well and equally professionally.
And some say it's given that you are coming back as the Federal Chair.
I'm very blessed to be uncontested in that position. So I'm humbled for that confidence.
Personally and in hindsight, when you reflect, your critics have said that you coming back to the DA somehow contributed to the challenges that the party has had. But your supporters say you coming back has stabilized the party. Do you think it was a good idea to come back?
Well, I thought it was not a good idea for the DA to unravel as it did between 2016 and 2019. And I'd put such a lot of work into building the DA. And when people came to me and said, please come and help us stabilize and go forward, I said yes.
Are you thinking about who you will be working with should the electorate not give any political party majority after 2024 elections?
You must listen to the leader after the leadership election. That is for the leader to spell out.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Helen Zille is the chairperson of the Federal Council of the Democratic Alliance.